In just 24 hours, a Senate vote could make or break President Biden's push for a bipartisan infrastructure package. Karen Travers from the White House now with what is the president's doing in the final hours to seal the deal. Tell us, Karen.
Kira, the president is in touch with lawmakers. That's according to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, who said today that the White House supports Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer moving forward to try and put this bipartisan infrastructure framework up for a test vote tomorrow, Wednesday, even though the bill is not done. There are a lot of details that are still being worked out, and there are calls from many Republicans to slow this process down, that this vote should not happen tomorrow, give a couple more days for negotiators to continue their work. The White House said today they appreciate that hard work. They appreciate that members from both parties were working very late into the night last night, but they also seem to say that this is the, bit of a kick that these senators need to get moving and get this locked down.
So the House Select Committee looking into the January 6th insurrection. It's set to meet for the first time next week, and Republican Minority Leader McCarthy just named 5 of his members, Representatives Jordan, Banks, Armstrong, Davis, and Nels. What can you tell us about all of them?
Kira, the Republicans named those 5 members, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will have to confirm them and make it official for them to be on this committee. It is very striking to see that these are members of a party that don't even want this commission in the first place. In fact, only 2 of those members voted to confirm the election results back in January. Kira, there are also differences on the scope of what the committee should be looking at. We heard from Steve Scalise, a top Republican in the House, who said that this committee should be looking at all political violence. It should also be looking at Capitol security and what went wrong that day. Democrats say, sure, that security issue is part of it, but they really want to zero in on what happened with that crowd that day and what role former President Trump may have played.
So, Karen, we learned today also of a vaccinated White House staffer who tested positive for COVID and a vaccinated staffer on Speaker Pelosi's staff who tested positive. We've been talking all week about the Texas state lawmakers who were also vaccinated and tested positive for COVID. So what is the White House saying about these breakthrough infections and what kind of precautions are being taken?
Kira, they're confirming that there was a breakthrough case of a White House staffer who had been vaccinated testing positive for COVID-19. But other than that, Jen Psaki was not giving a lot of details, not saying who this person was, any of the contact tracing that was going on, but did say they were not in close contact with the president. There were a lot of questions about this at today's briefing, and Psaki did say that there are other breakthrough cases that they have not yet talked about. When asked about the specific number of cases, she wouldn't say or couldn't say, but said she would get back to us. Now, in terms of what's actually changing here at the White House, nothing so far. There are no masks required if you are vaccinated. White House reporters that are close to the president on a daily basis, they are still tested for COVID-19. Jen Psaki said she's tested twice a week, but it was interesting to hear that the president's only tested once every 2 weeks, but everybody around him, many more frequent testing.
Okay, so while all this is happening, and then we've got these breakthrough infections, there's the big COVID hearing that's taking place on the Hill, and the CDC director, plus Dr. Fauci and others, they fielded a lot of questions from lawmakers about these breakthrough infections and whether people might need a booster soon. Let's take a listen first.
We have people who want to get that booster, and I'm hearing that from people who are at risk and concerned. They want to take that booster. They're willing to take the additional risk of something that's not been, they've already had 2 shots of it. They're saying, give me the 3rd because, I got this over a year ago. I got the vaccination over a year ago. I want to get that protection. Why can't they? And if they, I understand you won't let them yet, but when will you let them?
Well, Pfizer at least has announced that it's going to submit to their EUA data, both Pfizer data and, to Senator Burr's early point, the Israeli other data that they have available to potentially make the case for a booster. So the FDA will be looking at that.
I'm sure you will. I don't like the time frame, frankly, given the fact that this is being done elsewhere.
Yeah, key word, time frame, right? So what more do we know about that, if anything? And also, what were some of the other takeaways, Karen?
Yeah, that review of the booster shots and whether it's necessary is ongoing. Senior officials from the Biden administration met recently with officials from Pfizer to talk about the data from their study, saying that a third shot is very effective and might be needed. This came up last week, and I asked the White House whether or not the government was going to still pay for that potential third shot. Is there money for that? And Jen Psaki said the administration is well prepared, that a booster shot was always in their contingency plans. In terms of that hearing, though, today, the big message from the CDC director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, and Dr. Anthony Fauci is that the vaccines are working. Yes, we are going to hear of breakthrough cases, and we might hear of many breakthrough cases, but they both said that the vaccines are keeping those people out of the hospital and are preventing deaths.
All right, Karen Travers at the White House for us. Karen, thanks.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.